Hey everybody, welcome back to Tenza Motorsports. Today we're going to be trying to drive this car for the first time, even if all we're doing is taking it off the lift and then putting it back on the lift. We did get some Toyo proxy r888rs that we're going to be putting on the CSL replica wheels that came with the M3. If you hear lawnmowers and stuff in the background, it is springtime, which is one of the reasons why I'm burnt wearing sunglasses and my contacts got pretty burnt this last weekend. So we're going to be putting the wheels and tires on the final iteration of them. Now, eventually we will like to get them powder coated because they're not very gloss. They're kind of a satin black. But for right now, that'll do. But before we get into today's video, make sure you are subscribed. Like if you enjoy this type of content. Also make sure to follow us on Instagram, Tenza_Motorsports, where we do giveaways. And follow us on the other Instagram for this car, Nikki_Nightmare46. Now, before we get the wheels and tires put on, big thanks to Revmatch. As we can tell so far, the car is running fantastic, and today we'll solidify that. They did the tuning for this car. They're gonna be doing the tuning to the white E46 that we've got, so looking forward to that. The r888r is what I run on my race car. These are a 275/35/18 and a 255/35/18. And if we come over here to our new wheels and tires, same thing, same size, and we got them just so that they're as wide as we can get on these before they start getting a little too poofy. These fit on there absolutely perfect. So you can see here is the rears and the fronts. We're gonna go get these put on. We're really excited to finally see what they look like. We've been talking about it for months. These front wheels haven't had tires on them for a long time, and the tires that were on these were so dry rotted we didn't even want to move the car at all, except for just pushing it around. So let's get these put on and see if we can't get the car around the block. All right, on the ground for the first time in a long time. Now, I'm gonna point out something here that I've noticed, that the fitment on this, even though it's similar wheels and stuff, isn't actually as flush as the white car. So we might add a small spacer to the front, but other than that, I think it looks fantastic. We're gonna dust it off real quick because it has been sitting up here and I was sanding the front bumper quite a bit. So it's just dusty. But the next thing we gotta do before we actually drive it is, well, I'm gonna turn it on. We'll see if we can get it to back straight out. I'm gonna check all the fluids, check the power steering, the coolant levels, all that kind of stuff. And we should be able to get the car up to temperature. I put the intake on. The intake, I don't really care much for this intake because it hits right here. I'm sure somebody else can make this work because we're not keeping this, we are supercharging the car. So this is gonna go to, I don't know, maybe one of you, I might give it away, but it doesn't need to be in this car and it doesn't need to be in the other car. So we're just gonna be running this until we get it supercharged. I wanna lay some solid, naturally aspirated dyno numbers down before we do that. So that's only gonna be in here for a little bit, and then all the fluids look good, and then we're gonna be starting the car and backing off the lift here soon. Front bumper's still missing, still getting worked on. Stay tuned on that.
that?
I don't know. That didn't sound very good, did it?
No.
Well, our inaugural run didn't go super great. That fuel pump is unbelievably loud. I mean, I can't even believe I can't even talk.
It's buzzing.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this started enough just to get back into the garage. All right, so the fuel pump is so unbelievably loud, we can't even talk to each other in the car. I can't listen to any other issues going on, so we're gonna have to do something about that. I don't know if that's just this fuel pump in general or what's going on, but it is stupid loud. So that noise that we heard towards the end was this. So this actually, the little, I think it's the bushing that sits back here, popped off, and now that's hitting the drive shaft. So I wanted to do a little bit of a pull, even if we just did like, 10 miles an hour in first gear or something like that, and just try to feel what the car is going to kind of give a taste of what it's going to be like. But yeah, all of a sudden it started making really bad noises, and so yeah, that's what happened. Other than that, it looks like the car stayed cool. I didn't go over halfway. Obviously your fuel doesn't work. There's the whole entire dash is all lit up because there's all sorts of sensors and things that aren't communicating like they used to, or disconnected or whatever. So I'm gonna have to pull the dash out again at some point and block off a bunch of lights, which is fairly normal. Your DSC down here, I'd put this panel in there just so it looked normal again, but there's a lot more work to be done on this. Its first run, I would say this is successful. The tires look good. Everything rides like it should. I'm very happy with it, but that makes it so that we can't drive it anymore because you're just rubbing the bottom of this on your drive shaft. The last thing I do is get it caught on something or damage the drive shaft or something. So thank you for subscribing, and make sure that you stay tuned because there is tons more on this car to come. Build sheet for this car, as always, is linked in the description below. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Bam!